What you doing, Napoli Nation? Episode 5 is here. We haven't lost a game yet. It's 5 in a row, right, Mario?
Yep, that's five.
5 wins in a row, 5 episodes. I'm loving it. We need to keep this trend up until the very end so we can get to that 100 points. But let's get into what we're going to be talking about for the show. All right. So obviously we're going to be going over the Spezia match. We're going to go over the Cremonese match coming up this weekend. Match at home against them, a revenge match, hopefully, so we can, get back at them for kicking us out of the Coppa Italia. We'll get into the progression of Napoli on its way to the Scudetto. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on with Napoli news. Actually, today something did come up with ADL putting that transfer rumor to bed for Victor Osimhen because he sent a quote out on the airwaves in an interview saying nobody's for sale, especially Osimhen and Cavada. So we'll talk about that a little bit more,
Oh,
and we'll get into other things Napoli news wise, and the last thing that I think we're going to talk about before I get into just some of the food that I've been able to chow down on this time is the giveaway. It's getting ready to be opened up by the dude that won it, and we'll talk about that later also. All right, Mario. So you ready, man? Let's do this.
ready, let's go.
Okay. All right. So Spezia. I'll be honest with you. The first half for me, I wasn't very happy with. I wasn't nervous that they were gonna like lose the game or anything,
hmm
but I was not happy with just the way that they were approaching the match. I think that the starters that were put out there, including Lozano playing again, is what I wanted to see. Although he played really bad this match, he got subbed out right at the beginning of the second half, and I don't blame Spalletti for doing that. Lozano just he didn't look like he had any idea what he was doing. He was arguing with the players. It wasn't a good first half for Lozano, and that
hmm
sucks because he needs a rhythm to get to where he can really give us what he's capable of giving us. And with playing like that, you're not going to ever get into a rhythm. But the thing that we can count on every time, just like you predicted, is Victor scoring. You predicted a brace, didn't you?
Yeah,
So what did you think about how Victor got that brace?
I mean, in all honesty, the Spezia players almost kind of gave them away, but he still did his thing. Like, I mean, no one's just gonna give away a. I'm sorry, okay, the one where he headed it, they're not really giving that away. Like, obviously they made a mistake, but he still did an incredible thing. I'm not taking that away from him. But this whole game, we just scored off their mistakes, which is something Napoli has not been able to really do. Like, we've never been so consistent off of scoring off mistakes. Because Spezia, in all honesty, they weren't playing a bad game. They were parking the bus. They were giving us problems in the first half. Like, they were doing what a smaller team would do against a big team, is just try to hold us back. Not worried about the attack, not worried about possession, nothing like that. And they were doing everything fine. Like, they were kind of worrying me. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't nervous, but they were worrying me. I'm like, okay, we've had first halves like this where we start off a little slow, teams park the bus, but we'll find the rhythm in the second half. And with the substitutions, that naturally came. Um, we talked about Lozano's inconsistency the last episode. We're like, okay, here we go. This is his chance to now go to the next game
Uh,
and perform once again. He didn't do that. He didn't really do
no.
much. And like, I understand the players, like the defenders were all over him, but he was doing some costly mistakes as well himself. And he didn't look as motivated as last game either. So, like I said, man, our right wing is an issue. This is why we had Politano sub in. I don't blame Spalletti for that either. Um, he looked fine to me. I'm not going to say he was amazing or great. He could almost say he caused the PK, but that was just complete stupidity from the Spezia player, in all honesty.
Mhm.
But he did pressure him
Yeah.
there to put him in that position, so who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, that's really my takeaway from the Lozano Politano switch and how the game really went.
And you talk about mistakes that Spezia made in that second half.
Yeah,
Not the most noticeable thing, but watching the replay, I noticed when Cavada made that nice layoff pass to Victor to get his second goal, that Lobotka was the one that really caused that play to really happen because Lobotka put pressure on two different dudes, and they
yeah.
made a mistake in a pass, and that's how Cavada got a hold of it. So you're right, Spezia was making mistakes. They were showing their inferiority, not only on the pitch but with them fucking fans, man. Dude, so, I was sitting in the VIP seats for this match, and you know, luckily I was able to get a ticket where I felt like I didn't have to worry about things that were going to be going on around me, right? I only wanted to sit in the tribuna area and I ended up getting a VIP match. Thanks to Napoli. That was awesome to be able to get that. I really appreciate that.
I'm jealous.
But listen, man. So I'm sitting in the same row as Eduardo De Laurentiis. So I'm not expecting anybody around me to be saying anything
Hmm.
other than not being happy with those chants that were going on, right? I mean, you would expect that some Spezia fans would say something about, oh, I can't believe this is going on, you know? No. And I even heard like around me that they were chanting some of the Vesuvia Ruto crap too, man. They didn't start chanting the stuff about Maradona, you know, being happy about Diego passing away, man. But I could still feel the tension that they weren't like upset about what was going on. You know what I mean? And when we scored, I think it was the second goal, but it might have been the third one. I can't remember for sure. But the second or third goal, it was right after they were chanting some of that crap about Diego, right? So I got up and I was a little bit emotional. You know, I have to admit that I was really getting upset. So I got up and I just started like just
Uh-huh.
you know spitting in the air like I was trying to spit at those fans that were spewing that bullshit, right? And there was some dudes
You
behind
weren't
me.
physically spitting though, right? Like there was no spit coming out your mouth.
No.
Oh,
No, it's
okay.
just
All
a
right.
you know, it
Okay.
wasn't
I
I
was
wasn't
thinking it
spitting
was
for
that.
real.
I was just making sure. I was just making sure because
No, man. I was so pissed and
rightfully
you
so.
won't believe this, man, but people behind me, you know, and Ed Dole was saying some stuff too, man. He was upset because it was really disrespectful what they were doing. They
You
they
can
spent
buy
all that
class, but you
time
can't have it. I'm
that
telling
they
you.
spent all that time coming up with these nasty ass chants. Do they know that their club sucks and they should just focus on trying to support their players so they don't get relegated to Serie B? No, they got to
Yeah.
come up with this racist freaking shit. And I was pissed, man. I got emotional. I did that, and somebody behind me, like, oh, y'all need to calm down, right? And I'm like, oh, don't look behind. And Edo, he looked, and I could tell that he wanted to say something, but he didn't say anything either. You know what I mean?
Be the
So
bigger man.
yeah,
Let
you
him
got to
feel
be
it,
the
though.
bigger man, man. But
Yeah.
it's just it's surprising to me that even people in that area where we're supposed to be civilized, they were being uncivilized by not saying anything else. But I can't believe that they're chanting that. That is so sad. You know what I mean? Nobody was saying anything. But you know, I saw something on my phone before the show about them getting fined 10 grand. I think Joe Fischetti put it on his
Woo!
Sports and Napoli press. Hold on now, hold on. The $10,000 fine was just for somebody throwing a fucking water bottle.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
Got it.
I mean, so far, I don't
Wait.
think there's anything. There's nothing going on with the chance. They're gonna get fined. They're gonna get fined,
Are
probably,
they?
right?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they
I mean,
probably
something,
will.
but
But 10 grand for throwing a bottle, 20 grand for chanting, 10 grand for this, 5 grand for this. Eight, that the fucking fines aren't going to do damn. They're not going to do anything. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in another segment when we get to some of the Napoli news stuff. But I just wanted to spew and I just wanted to like to vent a little bit because I was pissed off when that was happening. It was enough to hear the Vesuvio Ruto chants, you know, and they were saying Lavale Fuoco, however they say that
what about
crap when they want to.
Fuoco, all that
Yeah, they want
bullshit.
to talk about the
Yeah.
freaking lava coming down on the volcano and just washing away the Napolitani. That stuff's old, man. We're used to that shit. But
Mhm.
when they started saying something about Diego, man, that really pinched a nerve, man. It pissed me off. But anyway, getting back to the match. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. But getting back to the match. So did you see the Lobo heat map on that match? Have you
I honestly
seen
didn't.
that?
No, I honestly didn't. I didn't see his. I wasn't looking at his. I looked at other people's, but not his.
There's
Sadly,
oh my god, there's more red than there is anything else. He was
really,
all over the place,
I did see him all over the
like
place. Though, just
from
naturally, just
from
watching the
left to
game.
right, front to
Yeah.
back. He was everywhere. And when he made that player make that bad pass, he was near the box doing that, pressuring those players,
Mhm.
man. So
Yeah.
Laboca had a great match, man. he's had a great season. He's been one of Napoli's most
Oh yeah,
important players. But man,
easily.
after I saw that heat map, I was like, wow, this is crazy. And a good friend of the show, Michele, you met Michele in Napoli. Remember Michele, man?
Of course.
Okay, so he was talking to me one day about like who's the most important Napoli player, right?
Mm.
And I don't know. Like after seeing Lobotka doing what he did, he might not be the most important, but he might be right there with like Cavada,
I think
Victor.
he's top
I
3.
mean, yeah, I think so, man.
I think
I
he's number
mean,
3.
yeah, I mean, Zombo had like a period where he was really, really good,
Yeah,
and
Zambo's
he
not as
was just as
consistent though.
important.
hmm
Yeah.
Compared to Lobotka,
Oh,
I'm not saying he's not consistent,
dude,
but
man,
compared to Lobotka,
like, are you nervous that if we actually got an injury with Lobo that would hurt
it would
us?
it
Are
would
you
it would
nervous
hurt us a
about
little
that at
bit
all?
just because of how much of an impact he really makes to like our chemistry. I'm not gonna lie, he's all over the place. So with someone like that who can pass the ball and possess it correctly and not lose it, being at the midfield, that's so important for the team flow and chemistry. I'm telling you, big deal. But I'm not gonna say he's like more important than Cavada and Osimhen because we lost them. We're losing like star talents, and Lobotka
Yeah,
can't
but
be argued he's a
he's right
star
there.
talent. I mean, yeah, he's right there, But this is like his
But
first
you've
season doing
seen
this. Mhm.
but you've seen Victor's been out for several games, Cavada's been out for 7 games, and
Yeah, and then we
and
still
and and
managed to get stuff going, but that's just because of
yeah,
our
yeah.
depth in general. We have a lot of depth. We have people who can cover for them. But
I
he is
think
important.
I
I'm not
think
gonna
with
deny that.
yeah, I think with Lobo, like if he gets injured and he misses 3 or 4 games, Ndombele is probably the guy they're going to rely on, right? And I
Yeah,
don't know if Ndombele has showed us enough to where I wouldn't be a little bit nervous about losing some points there. So, knock on some wood, man. Let's hope Lobo doesn't get hurt.
yeah.
And just talking about how good he was in that match, let's get into our man and flop of the match, man. Who do you think was the man of the match for Napoli? Obviously, Spezia didn't have a fucking man of the match. They all suck. So, but what
I'm
about
not worried
us, man? I
about them.
mean,
So my man of the match, personally, I had Kvaratskhelia. This was a
okay.
great game for him. He's always had great games, but this is like one of his like top form games. He gets a goal, he gets an assist, he manages to put pressure on the top left side. He goes back and forth. He had a really good game. A little slower first half, but a really good game in the general. My flop of the match, I'm gonna have to go Lozano, man. Um, every time someone disappoints me, man. Like, same thing happened with Zielinski the other week, and then he performs into the next match. He's debatable for man of the match. So Lozano proved me wrong, man. I really want you to. I can't stand Politano on the right side, man. Like I feel like at least Lozano can almost give us something, But when he doesn't, let me tell you, we don't got shit there.
And Politano came in the second half, and it wasn't like he set the world on fire either.
No,
I
he was
mean,
average. He was average, which is fine.
yeah.
Like we can manage average, but when you start playing below average, like how Lozano was doing, we can't start doing that. That's why we got we got subs going in and out at that position. That's literally our most sub position. I know that for a fact.
And you talked about Cavada
Mhm.
a little bit there too, right? And how good he played, and he was your man of the match, right? Yep. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
Yeah. So is he our penalty taker now? Is he our guy?
Oh,
Is Spalletti
confirmed.
gonna go away? I
Confirmed.
mean,
Come on.
right?
No,
I
this
mean, did you see?
the
There's a
debate's
picture
over.
out there. Yeah, there's a picture out there on social media of him taking his penalty kick, and the form looks
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Yeah, this guy's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
already
man.
I, I already
I
knew that just from his first PKs, like that he took. I'm like, okay, this is our guy at PK. Come on now. Either
but
him or
isn't
just anybody else, man.
do
I'm just
you
glad
think
it's not Politano.
Spalletti is but do you think Spalletti is for sure said, okay, if he's starting or if he's on the pitch, he's
Oh
taking
yeah,
it. He's not going to do
yeah,
none of that
yeah. This
players
was
you
it.
pick crap. I hope so, man.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. This was it. He's in way too cold both times that he went up there. He's got it.
I'm for my man of the match, man. It's Victor, man. I mean,
Of course, it's fine too.
he got a brace. He got a brace, and he was everywhere the whole pit, the whole match.
Yep.
But man, that play that he made and his determination to make a play on the ball when it
Yeah,
seemed impossible, that was one of his best plays of the year, man. And
yeah. He just
I
had a
tweeted,
goal of the year just last week, the other week.
yeah, I tweeted out something before the show about like there's a video out there on YouTube that I ran across, and it was just talking about a whole bunch of stuff with Osimhen, and it showed a video again of him making that play. Did you see the hang time in the
Yeah.
replay
Oh
videos,
yeah.
man?
Yeah, it was
Like
crazy.
it wasn't just how high he got. He got up there and he was still there when the goalie was coming back down. Man, that shit was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Dude,
Remember how we were talking about him
his
being compared to a Ronaldo for that one jump that he had? Well, look at them now. They're all comparing him to the Ronaldo jump now.
yeah.
It's just funny how things work out.
Yeah, man. That play was crazy, and I think plays like that are just going to make his confidence build even more. And
He broke the
man,
Serie
you
A
know
record
he can't.
for the height, right? He beat Ronaldo's. That was Ronaldo's record
Yeah, yeah,
prior. Okay,
he
I
for
figured.
the feet or the inches in the
Hmm.
leap. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, he can't wait for the Champions League to start back up.
yeah. I mean, you would figure he'd be pretty damn excited about that.
Yeah. And then there's rumblings all over social media, news outlets and everything about Napoli and the progress that they can make in the Champions League and there's people that know what they're talking about saying there's no reason why we can't imagine Napoli can win the Champions League, man.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Like
Dude,
obviously there's teams that
imagine
are
that
better,
though.
but we have a team that is suitable to win a Champions League this season. We do. I'm not trying to sound cocky or arrogant. Like I really think we do. We have the depth, we have the coaching, we have the tactics, we have the talent. Why not?
You know, PSG and Real Madrid are playing
Are better
against
than
each other
us.
next. So
I'm
one of
sorry, Real
them
Madrid
gotta
actually
go
don't think they're better
away.
than us, but yeah. But I don't think Real Madrid is better than us. They're like this right now. They're a little shaky. They're talking about firing Ancelotti. He's at risk of losing his job right now.
Oh, I didn't hear
Crazy.
that.
I saw
They're
that two
talking
days
about
ago.
sacking him? Oh
Yeah,
wow, that's
what the
crazy.
heck, man?
Oh, that's
Crazy.
good drama, man. We need
Yeah,
some drama.
but I think
Yeah.
PSG will pass Real. They won't make it easy for them, obviously, because it's a big team still. I'm not taking that away from them, but PSG will pass
I
them,
mean,
and I think we'll end up playing PSG or something like that before the finals. I wish it was a finals match, in all honesty, but we'll see what happens. I don't
you
know. It's exciting.
for me, like a team like PSG with
Hmm.
Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe, that is going to be crazy
Yeah.
to I mean, they can't be stopped, but
No.
to limit them enough to where we can get a result, that's gonna be crazy. But you know what? Them motherfuckers gotta deal with Victor and Cavada, dude. It ain't like we ain't got something for them to worry about either, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. And our
So,
midfield is
I'm ex
undeniably top three, top five in the world too. I mean, we have an amazing
yeah.
midfield too. Our defense is up there as well. You could argue as well. I mean, we're up there.
Yeah, man, I can't wait for it to start back up just so that we can see how they play against Frankfurt. And I mean, they're I wouldn't say heavily favored, but they're definitely the favorite to get through the next round. And I
Mhm.
want them to exude their dominance. Like I want them to do what they've already done in the Champions League against other teams, like Liverpool
Yeah.
and Ajax and stuff. I want to see that. So I'm hoping that they come in there with that confidence because
Yeah, because we
they
can't take
have been
Frankfurt lightly. They're having like one of
yeah.
their best seasons ever. So
Yeah, but we definitely have more
yeah,
quality than them, man.
of
Like,
course, but we can't take it lightly. But
yeah,
I'm not really worried about Napoli
yeah.
this season doing any of that jazz. I think we'll be fine.
All right. So, you got anything else to say about the Spezia match, Mario? We'll talk a little bit more about the chanting shit later on in the show. But you got anything else to say, man?
Yeah, Forza Napoli, Spezia merda.
Yeah.